For 4.5 fulfilling years, had dedicated myself to building a stable, loving foundation, not just with my boyfriend, Mark, but with his two extraordinary children. I was no longer just an appendage to Mark's life. I had become an integral, reliable cornerstone, the one who remembered the perfect ratio for hot cocoa, helped with the complex fractions, and understood the unspoken rules of their household. Our relationship had reached the comfortable maturity that demanded the next logical step: cohabitation. We meticulously planned my move for the week of Thanksgiving, strategically choosing the holiday week to minimize disruption for the kids and maximize our time for unpacking and settling in together. When Mark and I shared this exciting news, the reaction from his children was overwhelmingly joyful. Their squeals of delight, the spontaneous hugs, and their instant eagerness to help me pack and decorate instantly validated the decision. Their pure, unfiltered excitement was the last truly peaceful moment we would share. The children, seeing no harm, innocently delivered the news of my impending arrival to their mother, Sarah, during their Sunday handoff. The result was not the civil, mature conversation Mark expected, but the immediate deployment of a toxic, premeditated attack. The warning shot was fired via text. Sarah insisted on unilaterally controlling the following Thursday's school pickup and drop-off. The real siege began when she arrived. She rejected the usual curbside handoff, instead aggressively bypassing a stunned Mark and pushing her way into the sanctuary of his home. Her first strategic move was to isolate the kids, barking a sharp command for them to retreat upstairs, effectively clearing the stage for her tirade. Her voice immediately escalated to a grating, high-pitched scream, accusing Mark of profound disrespect, not just as a co-parent, but as a man who failed to consult her on the fundamental environment of her children. Yet, her true target was always me. The verbal abuse quickly focused away from Mark's perceived transgression and toward my existence, as she spat out venomous, repeated accusations, punctuated by the cold, sharp delivery of the word bitch. I stood frozen in the kitchen doorway, every instinct screaming at me to defend my honor and my home. But I swallowed the fire. I chose silence, absorbing the insult, prioritizing the tenuous peace, and protecting the children from witnessing the sight of their mother engaged in a vicious screaming match with the woman who loved them. This calculated invasion and the toxic, unfounded attack signaled the immediate, violent end of the 4-year truce we thought we had, setting the terrifying, inescapable trajectory toward the physical violence that was now barreling down on us. The forced calm I maintained after Sarah's initial Thursday invasion was a fragile facade that shattered by Sunday night, following a weekend where the children were visibly confused and subtly distant, sensing the toxic atmosphere their mother had introduced. Mark, attempting to regain control and avoid another public scene, had arranged the Sunday drop-off at his parents' house, believing a buffer would restore peace, a gross miscalculation. Just 2 hours after my return to his house, the front door was assaulted by a violent, relentless banging, a clear declaration of Sarah's second uninvited siege. As I foolishly opened the door, she shoved past me with a terrifying fury, her voice a weapon as she screamed the same vitriol, challenging my position and repeating her venomous slurs. But this time, without the kids present, I refused to absorb her abuse. "Get out, Sarah. You have no right to trespass here, and you will not disrespect me." Our shouting match reached a fever pitch, dragging a towel-clad Mark from the shower, who rushed downstairs and desperately tried to get between us, attempting to physically back her out the door to end the escalating scene. The chaos peaked in that moment of tension. Just as Mark placed his hand on her shoulder to guide her out, Sarah turned her head, her eyes blazing with pure hatred, and delivered the ultimate act of degradation. She spat, a deliberate, cold flash of saliva landing squarely on my face. It wasn't conscious thought. It was a primal, instantaneous reflex honed by years of quiet frustration. My fist shot out, connecting with a sickening crack against her mouth, eliciting a gasp and drawing instant blood as she stumbled back and theatrically collapsed to the floor, screaming not in pain, but in calculated, performative shock. But the real injury was delivered by Mark. Instead of defending the woman he was about to marry, instead of confronting the perpetrator who had invaded his home and assaulted his partner, he turned his full, incandescent rage on me. You should have controlled yourself. You didn't need to escalate this. In that moment, kneeling beside his ex-partner's manufactured distress, Mark chose his co-parenting peace over my dignity and safety. The stunning finality of his betrayal superseded any fear of confrontation, compelling me to silently grab my belongings and walk out, leaving him to tend to the bloody, lying mother of his children. A clean break, I confirmed an hour later during a furious phone call, concluding with the fatal sentence, "If I make things harder for you, I'll take myself out of the picture entirely." Following the explosive Sunday night, I executed a cold, immediate withdrawal, blocking Mark on every platform and ignoring his attempts to contact me, standing firm in the conviction that his furious reaction, choosing to prioritize managing his volatile ex over defending me, was the ultimate, unforgivable act of betrayal. A position I powerfully reiterated when he finally cornered me at a gas station. I was walking away to make his complicated life easier. The silence spoke volumes, but the ring spoke louder. Was his apology genuine, or just the sound of a desperate man trying to salvage his custody arrangement? My resolve eventually crumbled when he showed up at my house, utterly broken and remorseful, pouring out a desperate, hours-long confession where he admitted he fucked up with his reaction and his cruel words about me, making things harder. He attempted to prove his commitment by detailing his immediate, concrete actions. He immediately kicked Sarah out after the fight and established a strict new boundary by mandating that his parents' house would be the permanent, neutral drop-off and pickup point moving forward. He even deployed the emotional artillery, showing me a video of the kids, who were asking for me and expressed hope I would still move in, and using my prolonged absence to emphasize the hole I had left in their lives. The true devastating weight of what we lost, however, was revealed when he pulled a small velvet box from his glove compartment, the engagement ring he had purchased and planned to use to propose that very disastrous weekend, complete with a receipt to prove his imminent, heartfelt intention. This glittering symbol of our lost future, a concrete promise lying next to the memory of a bloody lip and his harsh condemnation, left me paralyzed. He showed me the ring he bought for the weekend our lives imploded. Can love survive a right hook and the constant shadow of the ex-wife? I ended the conversation by telling him I needed space and time to process whether a life with him was worth the guaranteed risk of this drama repeating itself, leaving him with the ring as an agonizing, sparkling relic of the perfect life we were supposed to be starting. He drove away, but the conflict remained, shimmering on my doorstep. I am now standing at a precipice. On one side lies the commitment I craved, the future with Mark, the love of the kids, sealed by that undeniable, expensive symbol of devotion. On the other side is the cold, hard reality of what I endured, a man who, when push came to spit, chose his convenience over my defense. The question is no longer whether I love him, but whether I can truly trust him not to throw me to the wolves every time his ex-wife threatens his peace. My planned moving date is next week, and the children are waiting. The choice is agonizing. Do I walk away from the man I love to escape the woman I hate, or do I put on that ring and declare war on his past?